Hey, Woodside Church family. This Sabbath, we're going to talk a bit more about the doctrine of sanctification, literally, what it means to live our lives as if Jesus were in our place. Ellen White talks about it as character formation. When Paul talks about character formation, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, 1 Timothy chapter 4, he advises us to train yourself to be godly. The central idea is that many people, when they hear about spiritual growth, they think they simply must try harder to be like Jesus. So they try harder to be patient and they try harder to be gentle or kind. But the problem is it works no better than trying hard to run a marathon without training. Instead, we are called to a life of spiritual training. Now, this is not some burdensome thing. In fact, straining and overexertion really do not help at all. To train spiritually, to train on a path towards spiritual growth or living our lives as if Jesus were in our place, it means to engage in practices, experiences, and relationships that will help us to eventually do, through training, what we cannot do by ourselves. This Sabbath, we're going to take a look through the lens of a little parable that Jesus taught in Matthew chapter 21, the parable of the two sons, one who said he would do one thing but then didn't, another son who rejected it, but eventually came around and did what the father wanted him to do. Two sons in a vineyard. And we're going to flesh that story out. And we're going to talk about some practical lessons that you can walk away with for how to live your life in a way that Jesus is formed in your life. I also want to just highlight a couple things. We have fellowship luncheon this Sabbath. I want to invite all of you to join us. Bring lots of good food. Please bring an entree, a big salad, maybe some bread, maybe a vegetable of some kind, maybe a little lighter on the dessert, though I love dessert. And then in the afternoon, we have a very special presentation called End It Now. We have a special guest coming to Woodside Church. Laura Swartzen is the Prevention and Education Department Manager at Weave, and she's going to be talking about violence, specifically violence in relationships. I don't know if you know, but 1 out of 3 women in America today have been impacted in some way. They are victims of violence in some way. 1 out of 7 has been injured in an intimate relationship by domestic violence. So I encourage you to come out, men, women, all of you. Let's support our women's ministries and engage in the conversation. Also want to just put a plug in for Sunday morning. We have a campus that needs some work. Bring out your mower out, bring your blower out, bring your trimmer out. Let's all work together. Invite your kids to come and join with you. We need to all band together and make our campus beautiful. As our landscape manager is experiencing some health challenges right now. So we really have a big need. So Frankie and his team, Larman and the rest of the crew, we want to just invite you out on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock sharp. Please join us.